If in recent summers you have had the misfortune to get the rash caused by brown-tailed moths, you know how itchy and how miserable it can be. If you haven't had it, consider yourself lucky. But that raises a question. If you don't want to rely on luck, what can you do to reduce the chances you'll get the rash this summer? We went to Tom Schmelk, an entomologist with the Maine Forest Service, to get some tips on how to eliminate brown-tailed moths now. And we started by asking if the bitterly cold weather we had a week and a half ago would have killed off some of the brown-tailed moth population.
Possibly. I kind of doubt it though. So where they are coming in from Europe is about the same latitude as we are here in the Northeast. So they're adapted to our coldest winters and our warmest summers. I think they'll be okay, unfortunately.
This time of year, if people want to try to do something to minimize the impact of brown-tailed moths in the summer, what should they be looking for?
So they should be looking for the winter webs, and those are going to be in oak trees, any fruit trees, and that includes ornamental crab apples like we have here. And looking at those trees on a nice, bright, sunny day and recognizing where those winter webs are. They'll be right at the tips of the branch.
All right, you're going to show us how to remove them, so let's do that. As you said, you got a crab apple here. First, you recognize, find one, and you got one right up there on that branch.
Yep, and we'll reach out here, pull one down. So you're just going to remove the very tip of the branch. You don't need to remove any more than that. So we'll just grab this. And these fresh winter webs have this nice bright white silk. A lot of people ask how to tell the difference between old and new webs. And the major difference is this fresh bright white silk.
After you've clipped it, you got a bucket of warm soapy water. That'll do the trick in terms of killing them off?
Yeah, so there's two ways to destroy these webs. One is by soaking them in a bucket of soapy water for a few days, and that will break down this hydrophobic layer, this water-resistant layer, kill the caterpillars inside. Just stick it down in there. And then the other way to destroy them is to burn them either in a wood stove or if you have a permit for a burn barrel. Just taking it, dropping it on the ground, thinking, oh, the snow will kill it, or maybe putting it on the ground, grinding it with your boot or something, that's not going to do the job, right? Yeah, unfortunately. So if you clip them out and you just leave them right on the top of the snow, the caterpillars will emerge in the spring and climb right back up on the tree, and it will be like you had not done anything. How effective are these steps? Will they really make a difference? On a local level, right in your own dooryard, clipping the webs out of any low trees that you can reach them will reduce the risk of coming into contact with the hairs right around your house. So pretty effective. As far as the timing goes, if people know that they've got webs up in their branches and they maybe don't want to go out and do it tomorrow or next week, how long do they have before they need to get them down to really make a difference? Yeah, so people can clip webs basically from October until mid-April. So if you're clipping webs, you're going to want to make sure you do that before mid-April, because then the caterpillars start to emerge after that. One of the things that you want to do is you want to get the word out, and you want people to take action, right? Because it really will make a difference in the kinds of, problems that people have come summer. Definitely. So reaching out to your neighbor, letting them know if they're not aware that there's brown-tailed moth webs in their trees will help out quite a bit. Offering to clip them if they're reachable and if it's safe will help. Or we should mention, for the moths that are up on a much higher branch, you got to use a pole pruner, right? That's the only way you're going to be able to safely cut them down. Yeah, for sure. So an extendable pole pruner or one that has multiple segments will work very nicely. And if they're even a little bit higher than that, using a ladder, as long as you have somebody there to foot the ladder and make it safe, those are great ways to reach the higher up webs. It wasn't until, I don't know, however many years ago, I think that most people had never heard of brown-tailed moths. Now they can be a real irritant in the nice weather. How long are we going to be dealing with these things? So it's sort of, in general, forest pests, their outbreak cycles last about 10 to 15 years on average. So right now we are in the 8th year of this infestation. We have seen sort of a decline in the capital region, and if we do have a wet spring this coming spring, we're likely to see a further collapse of the population and hopefully the end of this outbreak.
Now, Tom Schmelk says if you want to destroy the brown-tailed moth nest, as he just demonstrated, you don't have to do it right now. However, you should act by early April. After that, too late. We have more information on how to get rid of brown-tailed moths in Maine. As always, head to the 207 section of our website or app.